You're probably wondering, why am I carrying around a coffee maker in the middle of the forest? Either I'm really decaffeinated or I really want to show you something super cool. It's the latter. Let's go for an adventure. This coffee pot is actually part of my Lost Things collection, a series of paintings dedicated to illustrate 4 nostalgic pieces that explore how nature gently reclaims forgotten objects. And I'd like to tell you all about it. On our adventure today, we have Christopher and Robin. I know he's yellow, but his name is Robin, and they are friends, and they will be together forever. And I will put the links on where I got these beauties, but they will be joining us today on our little Lost Things adventure. Wandering through the forest, sometimes I come across the weirdest things. A lost canteen, some child's lost doll, cars that some crazy person has dumped, washing machines. It's crazy. Some may have been accidental, and some were part of a group of uncaring humans. But regardless of how they got there, nature always finds a way to reclaim them. I've always loved how branches, leaves, animals make it all their own, creating a new habitat for everything dwelling in the area. It's like magic. A camera becomes a moss-covered haven for mushrooms and critters to build new homes. Typewriters become flower beds. Books now belong to the worms, and coffee pots a tiny reservoir of water. There's a magic that hugs each piece and reclaims it as the forest's own. I'm not encouraging you guys to litter. That's the last thing I want to do. You should always keep the forest clean and leave it as you were never there. But sometimes there are those magic pieces that appear, things that were really truly forgotten. Those are the ones that I celebrate. This old coffee maker was something that we used to use in my house as I grew up. My mom used to use it in the morning, in the evening, maybe midday, but the best part of it was when she would let me put the grounds into the pot. Even though I didn't like the taste of coffee, the smell of it was so addicting. I'm thinking about this painting that I did, and I'm pretending that it was actually left there by a backpacker who had to leave real quick because a bear was coming for his breakfast. But now it's home to mushrooms, moss, and tiny reservoir for insects. I'm thinking that this coffee pot has been in that spot for so many years that the top corroded, now a place for mushrooms. It's all rusty, and then maybe somebody came along with candles and wanted to have a quick meditation, and I think of it as a peaceful place for thoughts and reflection. This piece is like a story within a story. The tales the pages held now shelter new light. Imagine someone bringing their favorite novels to a special place, nestled between bushes and the flowers, soft leaf-covered grounds and rays of light, a secret reading nook they called their own. Over the years, these books may have piled up, but the bookworm, now grown, forgot about their little treasured spot in the world. These books still hold words, but they are homes to different kind of bookworm. A library of mosses growing out of the covers, mushrooms adorning the spines, higher ground for snails to catch the morning dew from flowers. They still tell stories, but this time they are part of nature's tale. I think about this typewriter and how it may have been found in a crumbling cabin deep in the woods, overlooking a lake. The words it may have typed, perhaps correspondence to a loved one, a novel about peaceful moments they experienced while living in such a quiet area, maybe even field notes on things that they were researching. What I would love to catch a glimpse of the passage of time, of how it got there to where it is now. So this was actually my first piece that I created of the series, and probably the inspiration for everything else. You could say that it wrote the blueprint for the rest of my artwork. It's probably one of my favorite, and as you can see, all the details tell a great story. Cameras have come a very long way, but my favorite will always be those manual film cameras from back in the day. Digital may be faster and the way of the future, but sometimes it's fun to still live in the past. Photography in its rawest form, a machine that captures memories, now creating ones as a miniature habitat. I bet this camera was broken and lost by some weird traveler that was inexperienced, perhaps an archaeologist. And then, one day, this explorer, I imagine, was not very good with directions or maps. And one day when he went out to look for breakfast, he got into the wrong way, and finally, he couldn't find his way back. And there went his camera and his bag, and it was just never seen, never found. It was just lost. I really hope he learned his lesson. It doesn't leave good cameras out, but hey, for now, we have an adventure and a story to tell. As a kid, I remembered that I was always looking for treasure in my parents' things, probably, a curiosity thing. And I remember that I did find this weird looking purse. And I thought, this is a square, what is it? But I didn't dare open it in case like my parents found out that I was actually looking through their things. But one day when I was like super sick and home from school, I decided, why not? I was sick, right? So I opened this purse to find a camera just like that. And it was like a found treasure. And I opened it and tinkered around with it, not really knowing how it worked. And there was a broken mirror inside, which is probably why it was never used. And my mom saw that I was looking at it, and she actually showed me how it worked. And it was the neatest thing. And she told me all about when she used to use it. And it was just a really neat bonding time. And so when I drew this, I thought of that very moment. There you go. That's my story for that. Creating the Lost Things collection taught me that art isn't just about what we see, but what we imagine. Every forgotten object has potential to become something beautiful again. So next time you're wondering why someone might be walking through the forest with a rusty coffee pot, maybe they're just looking for a little magic in the lost things around us. Hey guys, I would love to hear your found things that you may have encountered during your trail walking. And I would also love to know what you think a great story that item might tell. Leave me a message in the comments. I would love to read it. If you're wondering where to get one of these prints, you can find it on my website or on Etsy. Also, if you like this content and you want to see more of it, please like and subscribe and leave me a comment letting me know what you'd like to see next. Till next time, keep adventuring. Bye!